The time is precisely 6:45 am. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Chandima Virakon. Headlines. Import restrictions on more goods to be eased in the near future. Former AG Dappula de Oliveira to appear before TID today. Musical shows, political meetings at Galle Green barred. Minister Ali Sabri says Sri Lanka ideal to facilitate platform for blockchain project. Tourism arrivals hit 400,000 mark this year. The government decides to allocate more fuel during this festive season. On news overseas, sacked CBI boss says reputation totally destroyed. In sports news, Prabhat and Ramesh send Ireland crashing to innings defeat. Local stories in detail. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siyambalapitiya says that measures will be taken to relax the import restrictions imposed on many other goods. Speaking to the media today, following a review meeting on Sri Lanka Customs revenue target for the year, the State Minister pointed out that it will also help Sri Lanka Customs to achieve the expected income. Siyambalapitiya, who emphasized that the revenue target given to the Sri Lanka Customs for the first 3 months of the year is 270 billion rupees, however mentioned that the revenue generated during that period is 12% less than the expected income. The main cause of this is the import restrictions imposed by the government, he claimed. 485 items were subjected to the relevant import restrictions in 2021, while another 750 items were restricted in 2022, the State Minister highlighted, also stating that the appreciation of the rupee in March also led to the Customs Department's inability to reach the expected revenue targets. Furthermore, the State Minister expressed that, therefore, the relevant import restrictions will be relaxed in the near future with much consideration, and that especially the decisions will be arrived at based on the recommendations provided by the Economic Research Department of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Former Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira has been informed to appear before the Terrorist Investigation Division or the TID today, the 19th of April. He has reportedly been called before the TID in order to record information on his controversial statement of a coup behind the Easter Sunday bomb attacks. On the 18th of May, then Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira had claimed that there had been a conspiracy behind the attacks that killed 269 people and injured over 500 on Easter Sunday in 2019. On May 15th, he had said in a letter to IGP C.D. Wickramaratne that the AG's department was unable to press charges or file indictments against the conspirators and abettors of the Easter Sunday attack as the CID had not completed its investigations. On 25th May, Attorney General de Oliveira retired, while Acting Solicitor General Sanjay Rajaratnam was appointed as his successor. De Oliveira had infamously handled the Easter Sunday inquiry right from the beginning, while he served as the Solicitor General before being appointed as Attorney General on the 29th of April 2019, just 8 days after the Easter Sunday attacks. The Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to reserve the Galle Green for the public only to spend time leisurely. Sri Lanka Ports Authority has taken over the development of Galle Green under a Corporate Social Responsibility or CSR project with an expenditure of around 220 million rupees to date. Speaking at the Cabinet Press Conference yesterday, the 18th of April, Cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawardena emphasized that the total amount of money spent just to repair the properties damaged during the Aragalaya protest movement added up to a staggering 6.6 million rupees. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved the proposal submitted to the Cabinet. that the Golface Green only be used to spend time freely and for special religious activities with effect from the 20th of April 2023. Thereby, permission will not be granted for any musical shows or political gatherings at the Golface Green premises which may cause damages to its allure. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri has described Sri Lanka as a hub of opportunities for investors despite its recent crisis. Speaking at the launch of the Blockchain Centre in Sri Lanka held in Colombo, Sabri explained that Sri Lanka is ideal to facilitate such a platform owing to its abundance of investment opportunities and the renowned hospitality of its people. Despite our drawbacks and some extremists from all communities, our people are our biggest strength. Sri Lanka has 97% literacy, very high literacy. We have free education and free healthcare for all, the minister said, explaining that the concept of free university for all followed in Sri Lanka allows for the production of several talented students each year, ripe for the picking of investors willing to give them opportunities. Expressing his gratitude to the investors for choosing Sri Lanka for his project, Minister Sabri assured that this was the right decision and that it would help uplift the standard of life of those living in Sri Lanka. Speaking more on the opportunities available for investors, the minister spoke of the flights between Jaffna and India, revealing that plans are underway to operate bigger flights on this route more frequently, adding that the proposed ferry service between India and Sri Lanka is also expected to commence at the end of this month. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Sectoral Oversight Committee on Environment, Natural Resources and Sustainable Development has instructed officials of both the Maritime Environment Protection Authority and the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency to facilitate the expert committee to obtain samples from the site at which the Express Pearl caught fire in Sri Lankan waters. At a meeting held earlier this month, the expert committee appointed to assess the full extent of the environmental and other damages caused by the incident, pointed out that the inability to go near the ship or inside the ship posed as obstacles in calculating the full damage. To end the local news, the headlines again. Import restrictions on more goods to be eased in near future. Former AG Dapula de Oliveira to appear before TID today. Musical shows, political meetings at Golface Green barred. Minister Ali Sabri says Sri Lanka ideal to facilitate platform for blockchain project. Tourism arrivals hit 400,000 mark this year. The government decides to allocate more fuel during this festive season. That ends the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On the main news story, the government decides to allocate more fuel during this festive season. State Minister D.V. Shanaka said the data relevant to the requirements are being collected. Based on the demand and requirement, the fuel quota will be adjusted, the State Minister added. This will enable the public and the business sector to carry out their day-to-day transport-related activities with ease. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight. These days, the Health Department reports an increase in the spread of influenza A and B viruses among adults and children. Dr. Deepal Pereira, a specialist at Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital, said that children under 2 years of age, people over 65, pregnant mothers and people suffering from underlying diseases should pay special attention in this regard. The symptoms are cough, cold reaction, headache, high fever, vomiting, watery eyes, said specialist Dr. Deepal Pereira. That ends Watchlight. We move on to the world news next, the headlines. One dead in NYC multi-story car park collapse. Sacked CBI boss says reputation totally destroyed. Florida mermaid collects trash and breaks record. One person has died and 5 others were injured when a multi-story car park partially collapsed in New York City, officials say. The second floor of the 3-story structure in Manhattan's financial district collapsed first, reports CBS, the BBC's U.S. partner. Authorities said all the workers in the building have been accounted for. Video posted online shows cars and debris stacked high on a mound of shattered concrete. The former boss of business group giant, the CBI, says his reputation has been totally destroyed after being fired over complaints about his behavior. Tony Danker acknowledged he had made some staff feel very uncomfortable, adding, "I apologize for that." But he said his name had been wrongly associated with separate claims, including rape, that allegedly occurred at the CBI before he joined. Merle Livland, Mermaid Merle, as many call her, wanted to set her 5th Guinness World Record for swimming 30 miles around Biscayne Bay in Miami, Florida, and collect trash. In a report, the Florida Department of Environmental stated that the high level of debris in the bay was a threat to wildlife and public safety. To end the world news, the headlines again. One dead in NYC multi-story car park collapse. Sacked CBI boss says reputation totally destroyed. Florida mermaid collects trash and breaks records. That ends the world news.
Development news.
Taking a look at development news, Sri Lanka tourism arrivals reached 400,000 for this year, 2023. As of yesterday, the 18th of April, the tourism sector has achieved 27% of its target set for the year, according to Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority. An ambitious target of 1.5 million arrivals for 2023 was set with projected revenue in the excess of $4 billion. This includes an average $400 spent by a tourist per day. As the world slowly recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic, tourism is gradually resuming in many countries. Sri Lanka is one such country that has been working hard to attract tourists back to its shores. From January to mid-April 2023, Sri Lanka saw a significant increase in tourist arrivals compared to the same period last year. That ends development news. And in sports news, it's cricket. Leg spinner Prabhat Jayasuriya had a match bag of 10 wickets, while off-spinner Ramesh Mendis took 4 wickets as Sri Lanka recorded an easy innings and 280-run win over Ireland with 2 days to spare yesterday at Galle International Cricket Stadium. It was a very good bowling effort by the two spinners Prabhat and Ramesh, while paceman Vishwa Fernando made an early and breakthrough in both innings to torment the Irish team, who couldn't bat on this Galle track, which offered turn for the spinners, and the unbearable heat also affected the visitors. Sri Lanka spinners took 15 wickets out of the 20 with 1 run out and 4 wickets to paceman Vishwa Fernando. That ends the sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.